Mornings with Megs. I hope your morning has started beautifully. I hope if you are like us and have the biggest downpour ever. So I'm going to preface this by saying, Starlink, I love you and you're amazing. But yeah, look, sometimes we are not always best friends when it comes to internet connection when it's raining. So let's just hope that we have no issues. And you get me all morning, well, for the next hour anyway. Good morning, good morning. Amazing. I have such a cool epi for you guys today. I am having my first guest on, and I am so thrilled that it is him because look, I've interviewed people before. It is not a big deal at all. But yeah, it's always really nice when you can actually speak to people that you know and also are going to be interesting and funny and all of the things. Okay, so it's important. Okay, so I have Michael Sherwell, who is one of my drivers in Coleman & Co. Motorsport, and he is coming on board. He is a father of 4. He is a race car driver. He is a business owner, and he does all of the things. So he has some really interesting insights, and he is very focused on his mindset. And obviously when you are racing cars, you need a fairly thick skin and a very, very tough mindset, because you're literally throwing yourself around a racetrack. So yes, he's going to come on in 20 minutes to be exact, and we're going to have a chat about all things mindset, motorsport, and everything in between. So I've got some really cool questions for him. And look, to be perfectly honest, he'll probably take the last half hour of the show. But yeah, he's awesome. Okay, the other thing I have for you today, which I've already teased, is I want to chat about everybody's fear around being replaced by AI. It's still crazy to me that we are concerned about this when we can be doing so many things to work with all of the cool stuff you can do with AI, as opposed to being worried about it, I suppose. I have personally, I was always a big ChatGPT gal, purely because when you're a creative like I am, the mundane stuff bores the living everything out of you, right? It's just not fun, and I don't admin stuff and just tasks that I don't really need to do. It takes up too much of my brain capacity, and I really just avoid doing it. Truly, I will procrastinate on it because I'm well, this is the worst thing in the world, and so I just don't do it. So that's not going to help us get anywhere in life, is it? No. What else am I talking about today? I'm also talking about discipline is the new rich. Now, as someone who has just had to begin to get back into her discipline gal era, I can tell you this is absolutely true. But I want to talk about it in a way that's not get out of bed at 5 a.m, blah, blah. No, that's not how we do things here. I really want to talk more about how creating discipline whereby you do the things that you say you want to do, that you tell yourself you're going to do, and how powerful it is to actually then do those things. Because if you go and say, yep, I'm off to, do these things tomorrow, I'm going to get up, right? Tell me if this resonates. So it's Sunday night and you feel like a piece of shit from the weekend, and you've either gone out, you've done whatever, no judgment here, we've all had a fun life, and then you wake up on Sunday morning feeling like absolute crapola, and you're like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. This is it. This is my last weekend of drinking. This is my last weekend of whatever. Tomorrow I'm gonna eat well, I'm gonna get up at 5, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna do all these things. Okay, Monday morning rolls around, your alarm goes off, and then you're like, you know what, it's a no for me this morning. Tomorrow, it's Tuesday, Monday's a practice day. We'll worry about it on Tuesday. So I'm actually going to give you some tips and hacks and just things that I have done throughout my life to make me, look, I was a 4am girly. I was literally like a psychopath though. I was the most disciplined, regimented person in the whole world, and it just served me so well because I was able to achieve some unbelievable things. But as my health declined, obviously I couldn't continue to do those things, which really pissed me off, to be perfectly honest. However, that's okay. right? We're getting back into our disciplined gal era. And I just think like, and I hate this saying, so this isn't it. Like, let me come back to you with a better one. But it's like summer bodies are made in winter, right? So right now it's the winter. Actually, the winter solstice is like on, I think it's like on Sunday or something. If mum's in here, I'm sure she'll let me know. So we've got, yeah, the winter solstice coming up, which is the shortest day of the year. So being the summer baby that I am, right, this excites me because I'm like, sick. Okay, cool. I've been the sad gal coming into winter, like seasonal, I don't want to say depression, it's a little bit of a strong way, but like a seasonal like sadness because we hate the winter is so real. Like literally the second spring comes around and like you start to see like a slither of sunshine and feel sunshine on your skin, like life is just different. So anyway, God, I went off my whole ass tangent there, didn't I? Anyway, yeah, I'm going to talk about how to make that easier for yourself in these colder months when it's like 0 freaking degrees. And everything sucks and you don't want to be awake because it's freezing cold, but you have to because that's just what life is. So all right, let's get into our first topic of the day. I'm just trying to connect to YouTube, guys, so just give me 1 second. Alrighty, we are here. I just need to make sure I see your comments and not hear myself as well. So that's good, isn't it? Okay, here we go. We got it. All right, let's talk about AI. So, like I said, I was the biggest fan of ChatGPT. Not when it first came out. I would even call myself a later adopter, to be perfectly honest with you. I feel like it's like I didn't really understand it. I didn't care to know it. I was still like Googling my way through life. I think when it became really useful to me was when I found out that I could automate mundane tasks that I hated doing. And I wouldn't say that I am like the, I don't know, the pinnacle of what AI can do. I have since moved over to Claude, and purely because I just feel like the fact that I can give Claude access to my actual computer and do things that, again, I just don't enjoy doing. Again, being a creative, when I have to do mundane tasks that I don't find interesting, I will not do it for like 7 weeks and it will literally take me 2 seconds to do, but it is just like, it just drains me. Like that's probably like the only thing I'll be able to do for that day, which, you know, ADHD brain. Anyway, so since I have found out that Claude can actually like monitor things for you and bring things up for you and automate things that would literally take me probably like a good hour to do, especially when I'm putting together like even things for this show. Like I have done call outs to like different guest platforms to get speakers on about side hustles. Like we want to make some more money and about money management as well. I've got some really epic guests coming up about that as well, so stay tuned. And also I'm so beyond excited for this one as well, but I've actually found a online dating coach who helps people write their like Hinge bios and stuff. So I'm, you know, anyway, I would never have found those people if I didn't have like my little Claude, I'm gonna call her Claudia, I think. I used to name my ChatGPT Bob, but I think like we're like for the girls right now. And yeah, so basically I'm trying to go and scour the internet for what I'm looking for. So typically research like that would take hours, and, you know, even looking for TikTok trends and, you know, Instagram trends and everything, again, that would require me to go into a scroll hole. I would forget why I was even doing that. And then I would just end up scrolling for 2 hours and not even remotely close to completing the task that I initially opened Instagram for. So these things are huge. So I think the more, and what I'm going to do actually, instead of like me giving you what I do, because I don't even know if like what I do is best practice. It's probably not, because like I just like hack my way through life in general, but I want to bring on an AI expert that will actually be able to help us understand what we can automate, what's safe to automate. I think that's the other thing, is when you give agents like this access to certain things, you open yourself up to certain risks. So I think it's really, really important to make sure that you're, yeah, I guess checking what it is that you're giving it access to in terms of like privacy and stuff like that, because obviously we don't want any of your data leaking or anybody, yeah, getting access to things that they shouldn't be. So everyone is so concerned about AI taking jobs and all of these things. And I see this really like a lot in the media. And look, like I sort of touched on yesterday, I had a lot of feedback about like my COVID comment and how like when superflus and like stuff like that say that they're going to come and take over the world, people believe it a lot less because we are done being scared and we're like, yeah, we're over it. So I think if we can educate ourselves and if we can even use AI to do so, because it will do, then that way we can automate a bunch of tasks that we don't want to do because it's boring as hell. We can do things quicker in our lives, which means more time for doing things that we actually want to do, as opposed to it taking a certain amount of time to do things. But more importantly, what I have found is that it literally will free up so much brain space when you literally can park 2 or 3 tasks, again, that you don't like doing or that is just like time consuming. Like you literally will feel like, even though those tasks take you like 15 minutes, you will feel like you got 2 hours of your life back, because it's not just the build up. It's not just doing the task. It's like the build up of it all as well, because, you know, whether you're like me and you set like specific times to do things, like I check, PR portals and what's trending in the media and stuff like that for one of our clients. I'll do that at 3 p.m. every day just to kind of see what's trending, what's going on, what we can put in forward for, all those sorts of things. But it's probably like a half hour, like it takes me about half hour to do, which is like not that long. However, now I've automated it and I've told it to look for what I want it to look for. And I like when I first implemented it, I definitely went through and just vetted what it was that, the answers were coming back, and I was just to make sure that nothing was missed. And it actually picked up on things that I didn't pick up on. So again, because it's, a robot, it's designed to, be 100% accurate in terms of like you feeding it the information and you telling it to, what to look for. It has to come back with those results. So if you are on the fence about AI, if you are just using it as a search engine, I really encourage you to do some research about it. And again, tell it what research, like tell me what you want to know about it. Like it will come back and it will tell you. And just look at what can be done to make your life simpler. So there are a bunch of studies out there about how people are really terrified of, AI taking their jobs. And there is, in terms of unemployment, right? If you look at the unemployment rate and if you look at the skill shortage, look, let's just take Australia. And I can relate to, there's one particular industry, and I'm going to be super mindful about what I'm going to say that this is. But basically, it will require you to, like, it's a driving role. I don't think I'm moving too much away here. So it's a driving role. And so it is like, it follows like particular routes, like every single day. It can, like, it has to, start, stop. Sure, if you're following along, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you're in this industry, you're like, yeah, she's talking about me, right? Massive shortage of staff wanting to do this particular role. Okay. But on the other hand, you've got people terrified because there's these self-driving cars out there, like taking Uber jobs and stuff like that. If you want to work, the work is there for you. And if you want to learn more about AI so that you can then make yourself irreplaceable, you can do that too. Now, what I love in this space, and this is why I think I was like I was never really too concerned about what AI was going to do for people like me, I guess, because my role in life requires me to show up, okay? Whether I am at the racetrack or I am on site doing a strategy meeting or I'm creating content or like whatever, okay? As good as AI videos are now getting, and don't get me wrong, like I have to double take some of these and I'm like, God, is that a real person? Or like, it's getting good, okay? But nothing is ever going to replace your like our human connection and our personalities and everything that makes us us. So if you can really flip the coin on how you fear AI and instead be like, holy shit, I can get so much time back in my day by automating a bunch of tasks that I bloody hate doing anyway, right? Your life becomes simpler. You literally learn and like as you go as well in terms of like what can be done. Like it's just the craziest thing in the world. So headlines, look, the media in general is designed to make us a teeny bit worried about life. So I implore you, I don't think that's the right word. I encourage you to, do your research, try smaller tasks if you haven't been exposed to it before. Do not use it to compose emails and social captions without like checking it. I mean, look, it's getting really good, but it's still like for me, I can literally, if there was a game show that was like AI or not, and if you're listening, any media station, I will host this. AI or not, I would rate my skills in being able to tell. Okay, so anyway, don't fear it, work with it, automate the tasks you hate doing, and just make your life a lot easier. Okay, all right. Next thing we're talking about this morning, discipline is the new rich. We've gone through the era of motivation, okay? Just being told to stay motivated or trying to get yourself motivated or doing any of those things is just, it's like, it's not enough these days. And unless you're someone that implicitly follows every single thing you say you're going to do, down to like, going to bed at a certain time and reading books and all of the things. Now, I think we swung a little bit too far one way. You like have a look at if you've ever done the 75 hard challenge. I have done it. I have not completed it. I have started it several times. Out myself a little bit here. I've started it several times. Now, I followed that. I reckon it was like New Year's, it was probably a couple of years ago now. New Year's, whatever. It's irrelevant to what I'm talking about. New Year's a couple of years ago. I started it on January 1st. I was home at New Year's. I was not away. I was not drinking. I was, in bed by Lord knows what time early. And I was like, you know what? I'm so done with my life, right? I don't like the way that I look. I don't like what my mindset's doing. I don't like any of this stuff. I'm going to create change. So I did it. And I tell you what, I think I probably was committed to, like, truth be told, I was absolutely committed to it. I think probably 3 weeks in. So I had lost 4 kilos. I felt unbelievable. I was like, because like when you visually notice a change in your body when you're not happy with it and you're like, all right, queen, look at you go, right? Like for your mind, it does crazy things. And actually the thing that stopped me, and I was so annoyed at this because it must have been Australia Day long weekend. It was Australia Day long weekend. And I was away with my family. We were up the river for the Australia Day long weekend. And because like with 75 hard, you have to like read 10 pages of a book. You got to do X, Y, Z. And I had done the eating part when everyone was eating out at the pub. I wasn't drinking. Everyone else was. I was like, I went to bed early because I was, trying to get up the next morning because I knew I had a gym session, a walk to get in. Okay. So done all the things. The thing that undid me, it wasn't drinking, it wasn't eating, it wasn't not going to the gym. It was because I put my goddaughter to bed. Well, like her and I went to bed at the same time. And because it took me a little while to settle her, she would have been, she'd be like 2 at the time. And it took me a little while to settle her because I was so freaking tired. I fell asleep without reading my 10 pages, right? I had my book next to me. I had everything I needed because I was like, I'm going to put this child to sleep. We're going to go to sleep. And yeah, all of that. And I was so devastated. And I was like, okay. So what it did to me though, and this is just me personally, is I then was like, bugger it. You know what? It was probably Saturday at that point, I think. I can't remember. I'm like, I'm just going to go out and have a blowout this weekend. So I got hammered. I ate like shit. And yeah, I was up for most of it and it wasn't fun. By the recovery time on the Tuesday, I was like, this is what I wanted to avoid. This is what I hated. It's like, what am I doing? And then I was just so upset with myself because that was the thing that took the hardest, like, to, I guess, redoing. Anyway, where I'm going with all this is 75 hard is great if you want to create discipline and create habitual, like, routines in your life. So the research is that 66 days is what it takes for a habit to become like fixed in your mind. So there's all like these 7 days, 21 days, like 48 days, whatever days. 66 days continually is the amount of time, like amount of repetitions that it takes to create that neural pathway in your brain to then secure that habit, as, you know, something that you don't have to actively be motivated to do. It's just kind of just like something that you do. Now, I am nerding out on, there's like this streaming service called Gaia, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's on it. He's got a whole series on how to rewire your brain. I'm like a couple of episodes in. It's like, I'm like geeking out on this. I absolutely love this. And basically that number can be brought down significantly through meditation. So I recommend go and watch that doco or just learn about him. But if you are somebody right now trying to create some good habits in your life, just start with like 3 things, literally, and make them so insignificant. Like, even just celebrate like what you're doing right now. So like when I restarted, I was like, you know what, like I'm going to strip this back to basics. I did making my bed every morning because there is so much science around making a bed in the morning. So it actually is more than just making your bed. And so it was making my bed, it was making sure I drank enough water throughout the day. And then a massive one for me at the time was not snoozing my alarm and going back to sleep, or resetting my alarm for half an hour's time and then being like, you know what, it's fine. It got to the point where I was like literally scheduling myself a half hour to snooze, which, if you know anything about your circadian rhythm, is very, very bad for you. So I'm really outing myself. This is like, welcome. We do things messy around here. So if you can set 3, like I said, teeny habits and just stick to, like, make it so unbelievably easy to stick to. And you can even start by doing, like I said, putting things down that you already do, like, as it is. So making your bed in the morning, you know, oh God, it literally could be anything. My brain is like, I've got a complete brain fade as to what else you could do. You get it, right? Brushing your teeth. Okay. Now, if you apply gratitude to those 3 things, so you've got up, you've made your bed, and the best part about this is if you have done what I did, like snooze your alarm, and then, you know, you got up late and then you started to freak out and rush around because you're an idiot and like, God, I've done it again, and right? You don't have time to do that as much because I'm like, made my bed, pat on the back, get it, girl. And then if you apply gratitude to that as well, I'll be like, oh, I'm so grateful that I did that. So grateful because my future self is going to thank me for this, you know, and you literally bring this beautiful feeling to that. When I tell you it is going to change your whole state, like, I need you to believe me, okay? Try it for yourself, but you're like, oh my God, like, go me. Brush your teeth, okay? Put your toothbrush down. Oh, yes, queen. I have brushed my teeth. I've ticked off 2 things for the day. I am like winning at life. Go me, okay? And like, it literally just rewires you to look for opportunities to continue to feed or find that dopamine, okay? So like, and this is what we're hacking. Now, as somebody with ADHD, and I'm not going to comment on this medically, purely because, well, I don't know enough about it. 2, I'm just not going to, because I just don't think I'm well enough placed to. I'm just talking from my experience. When you have an ADHD brain and you are seeking dopamine like it is crack, okay, doing things like this literally feeds that beast in your head that's like, I need this. And even with this show, right, I was like, my initial excitement and the way that my brain works, and like, I had comments from everybody, from the production team saying, oh, we cannot believe how quickly you've turned this around. And I was like, give me something that I want to do and watch me do it, right? I like, literally, we did everything within like 48 hours and it was launched. Okay. So that's why if you're looking at things now and you're like, even things like the intro sting and the tech that I'm using and the studio setup and all of these things, it was just so secondary to me because I just wanted to get recording. I just wanted to start to connect with people, build this community, and then the rest will follow. Like if somebody comes along and either watches me on YouTube or listens to it live or listens to the replay on Spotify, and you're like, well, she's only using a Blue Yeti mic, and like, oh my god, like she's using like wired headphones, is like, here, right? You're probably not my people because like I'm a perfectionist, and it is hard being a perfectionist when you have ADHD because you want things to be perfect, but you also want to move like we're doing things quickly. So if you can create those amazing dopamine hits for yourself, and this is why I'm a sucker for this, is if I like write my to-do list and I've got the things I need to do for work during the day, and then I do something that's not on the to-do list, I'm like, well, I have to write it down there and tick it off, obviously, because like go me, like I've ticked off something on my list today. I mean, I had to create it, but it doesn't matter. So I would love you to try, just pick 3 things. Okay, 3 things, and make them like you're already doing them, or they're like unbelievably simple for you to implement into your day. When you do it, celebrate the living everything out of yourself and be like, you know what? I'm actually pretty awesome. Like, I made that promise to myself and I kept it. Okay, now building that self-trust in yourself, like, watch your life change. The second you start doing things like that and not pushing things to, diet starts Monday, that starts Monday, doing that on Monday, I'll start that tomorrow. Like, and even this one is like, oh my God, this is like quintessential Megs. This one, if I like went to the gym, had a beautiful, fueling, breaking my fast meal, like healthy, whatever, comes to like lunchtime and I'm like, like, I'll just have this, or I'll just have this, or like, I'll just have this a little bit. And then my mind immediately, the sneaky little thing is like, okay, well, we've just done this. Like, just have some, like, couple of M&Ms, like, it's fine. And then I'm like, cool, I've just had a couple of M&Ms and now I want the whole bag, So I know in myself that I'm a slippery slope. So not to take away from what you can achieve. And if you're somebody that is not an extremist like I'm an all or nothing person. Okay. I need it all, or I just like can't do any of it. I am not one of these people, and my parents will attest to this. I am not one of these people that could have a block of chocolate in the fridge and literally just have like 4 squares a night. Okay. It's just not it. Once that baby is open, she's getting finished. Okay. And I just don't know what it is. So what I will do is remove every opportunity for myself to actually be able to have access to anything like that. I literally, like, I will not have anything snacky in the household. I will not have anything like that, because when I'm focused on my body and eating well, if I have it in the house and I know it's there, I am literally like, you know what? I'll just like finish this, tub of Biscoff, because then it's out of the house. Okay. And, I've got a packet of chips. I'll just finish that and then it's out of the house. Okay. So 3 things, tick them off, celebrate yourself. And please tell me what they are. I'm like so fascinated with people's habitual brain things. I need to hear all of your examples of this. So, all right. Discipline is new rich. Next up, like I have teased, I have my awesome friend, race car driver, dad of 4, business owner, all of the things, with me today. We're bringing him in now. Good morning. Oh, we can't hear you yet, but that's okay. We'll work out. You can hear me? Oh, good. I can't hear you. We love a good technical difficulty. No, I still can't hear. The beauty of us being able to improvise will make this all work, so we don't even have to stress about it. I'm going to make sure my audio is right. No, I still can't hear you. I can see you yelling at me. Yeah, I'm lip reading. See, I lip read that. How good. All right, maybe take your headphones off. No, still can't hear you. Yeah. I wonder if, because I can hear myself, I wonder if change my speaker and I can hear you now. No. No, okay. All right, we might. Yeah, maybe you need to jump out and jump back in. I tell, like, if you're gonna watch this on video, it's the funniest thing. He's literally miming to me. Bye. All right, we'll wait for Mig to come back in. Oh, that's great. I love it. Okay. While we're waiting for Mick to come back in, we will. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We will chat. Oh, God. Perfect. All right. Now, where was I? What was I chit-chatting about? I was chit-chatting about habits is what I was starting with. Now, I originally wanted to name this like Tough Love Tuesday, but I really didn't like that because I was like, that's a little bit mean. Like, I think we need to be a little bit more caring about ourselves before we start doing that. All right. No. No, I still can't hear you. Oh, yeah. Let me try one more thing and see if we can hear him. And now you're frozen, so now I can't read your lips either. All right. No, we still can't hear you. Do you know what we might do? We might pre-record something with you next time and we can chuck it in here instead. And then that way we're not going to miss out on the goodness. That is, okay, he's going to try one more thing and he's going to jump out and jump back in. Like when I tell you that my lip syncing or my lip reading skills are absolutely on point, that is absolutely what they're doing. Now, I'm going to say that typically this would cause me to have an absolute meltdown, but thankfully I have the team in the background doing the things to make this all work because I'm like, I don't know. You know the old like turn it off and then turn it back on trick? Yeah, that is literally how I solve 99% of my life problems. And you know the other thing as well is like now that we have access to like crazy smart things like AI, I absolutely love that I can troubleshoot. And then Claude is like, Claudia, we call her Claudia. So, you know, this is how you do it. Or would you like me to do it for you? Obviously, I want you to do it for me. Like, obviously, I'm going to sit here. And it is the trippiest thing, right? You're sitting here and then you're just watching like your mouse move. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm literally sitting here watching Claudia do her thing. And I can learn how to do it because I didn't know that button did that thing before. Yeah, so I am all for learning how to do things on the fly, letting Claudia do her thing and watching her do it, and then being able to learn, because I am a visual learner, right? I mean, technically we all are, but I love if I can watch you do something, like I'll like watch me repetitively, like I'll find I'll find the way to do it. And then because of the way that my brain works, watch me do it so quickly. Like it is just, yeah, it is just how it all works. All right, guys, we're going to cross our fingers one more time and hope that we can hear Mr. Sherwell. No. Well, we were excited because we had some good things to talk about, but it's because I'm not going to be lip reading for everybody for the rest of this morning. We might. Okay, now I can see he's looking for a piece of paper to write me a note on. Oh, it's so funny. All right. No, it's fine. It's fine. Have the best morning. I'll speak to you later. Bye. Oh my God, I'm going to watch this video back. It's actually going to be friggin' hilarious just to sort of see. I was actually pretty impressed with my skills then on being able to lip read. That was fun. Okay, since we have time together, luckily I prepared a plan B for what we're going to talk about. Okay. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So I spoke briefly yesterday about the TikTok trend about people's smile lines and people embracing their naturalness, if you will, and instead of going and getting a bunch of filler in their face, they actually just go ahead and embrace their natural beauty. Okay. I think that's really, really important. And the more I was thinking about it and speaking to people about it yesterday, I was like, this is so important for the younger, like our younger generations, actually, finding the strength to love themselves and be themselves, and even almost heal the parents on what they've loved about, like what they love about themselves, and really forcing their parents to really have a look at themselves and understand from an inner child perspective. Would I say to my child or someone I loved or cared about or whatever, would I say to them, I can see your smile lines, or like, I can see like your crow's feet, or like you would never, like you would absolutely never. So I love that we're not saying it to ourselves. Now, where like I said, have had complete obsession with this, and again, I've been teasing it, and I like literally just can't get this obsession out of my head. So 1,000 apologies. But the Stan series turned on, Dirty Sexy Money. I am going to have one of those girls on the show. Now, fingers crossed it's going to be this week, because otherwise all you're going to do is hear me tease it, and then you're going to be like, God, is she actually coming on or whatever? So I guess work that a lot of those girls have had done. And I guess if you're one of those people that have had stuff done, and it's absolutely like throwing no shade, like if it's your life, you do what you want with it. And I don't judge people for that. But I've found that majority of the girls on there either have filler. You can tell by like when I say washboard abs on a female, it's literally like you can see their stomach muscles sticking out. Like it's almost like organs are going to bloody start poking through. So you, as somebody, whether you like the way that you look or you want to make changes, or if you had 20K to drop, you'd fly your ass to Turkey and go and change everything about yourself, no matter which camp you fall in. Okay. I think there are like two sides to this coin. Now, Blue Eyed Kayla Jade, who probably most of you will know, she is like, in my opinion, the person that came out with kind of openly talking about sex work. She has removed all of her filler. She got her lips dissolved. She, as far as I know, from what I've heard her talk about on her socials, also isn't getting like Botox and things like that anymore. So she's embracing this whole like natural girl era, which I think is a really positive influence on, people around us. She is so well known for making money, like we're talking like FU money from what she does, that I really wonder what we were actually looking up to. Okay. Were we actually looking up to the fact of how she looks? And she got a BBL as well, just by the way. Were we looking at what she had done, therefore equaling that to the amount of money that she makes. Therefore, in our brains, if I look like that, or if I go get this work done, I will then make this money. Okay, which, as we know, is not super true. As part of Coleman & Co., I manage a model. We've got a whole talent agency, talent division as part of the agency now. What I have found, and what, people are looking and doing the call outs for these days, like, Jesus, calm down. In the past few months in particular, has been they want you to be natural. And what I love about the advertising industry, especially when you're going forward for a particular role and it requires you to have a look, I love how brutal people are and brands are when they know what they want. Okay, they know what they want and they're not going to compromise on it. And you could be the most beautiful girl in the world, and if it's not the aesthetic that they're looking for, like, forget it. Like, it's not. And what I have found is that more and more and more of these, and these are more for like brands. Okay, so this isn't so much like the OF kind of world. Speaking of which, I actually got my first OF follower yesterday, which is so fun. He's going to be bitterly disappointed because my whole OF profile is purely because I'm really wanting to get some OF models, or content creators, I should say, on here as well, because I just find it absolutely fascinating how you can make money by doing the things that they do. And again, it is absolutely no shade. I'm actually in awe of these women and what they're able to achieve, and how, like, what sort of life they're able to create for themselves purely by doing what they do on OF. Okay, so natural, like, we're taking back, like, stripping back the Botox, so we're stripping back all of the things. And I just would love to understand from a 10 years time perspective, because I guess that's something that we don't have. We don't have what this stuff that you put in your body is going to do to you down the track. And we don't know, because trends change. Right. I used to give my mum so much shit for her gross hair that she had in the 80s. But or even like her weird ass clothes. But like, even now, if you look at what's coming back into, if you look at what's coming back into style and into fashion, I'm laughing because Michael is now in the comments and he's trying to distract me. God, you can almost do your whole interview now, just chit-chatting away, and I'll just respond back to you. No jokes, that's going to be boring. You need your personality on here. Yeah, so if in 10 years time, what that's actually going to be doing for to our bodies, because essentially we're you're injecting poison into your face, right? That's what it's all about. So look at the long-term things and look at what that's going to do, and look at, I guess, how that's going to affect things down the track, not only for your image, because the only other thing I find crazy, and this was said to me when I first got tattoos, right? So I'm I've got them everywhere, and I've got little ones, and they all mean something to me. They are all either a representation of a particular time or something I went through, or they're very special to me, all of them, and they all tell a story. Okay, now I was always told, and my nanny used to say this, and whatever, that you are going to regret those because they're on you for life. And then, making the joke of in the old folks' home when we're all 70, if we make it that far, if I make it that far, we're going to be these wrinkly old biddies with tattoos that just look cooked. So one, I think that is so funny and so much fun. Imagine being the old folks' home is full of sleeved and tatted up people with a story to tell. How much more fun is that? Okay. And two, there's obviously laser removal. So if you don't like a tattoo, you can just get that shit zapped straight off of you. So very, very important. So, and now I know 70 is an old mother. I'm saying if I live until 70, okay, we just don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I think that all of these things boil down to how we're feeling right now, and also then how we're going to look at ourselves down the track. Okay, what is that going to mean for us down the track? Not in terms of looks, because whatever, but in terms of how your body produces natural collagen, or how this stuff that you're putting in your face actually affects all of the stuff underneath the skin. So I think that's probably more of the thing we should worry about. But whilst we are seeing massive promotions of things like Dirty Sexy Money and shows like that, where you can clearly see like work that people have had done. And again, I think we're all actually tying that look to lots of money. So I think once that kind of slides, and look, I'm not a guy, I can't comment. Maybe Mick can because he's in here, but I can appreciate female beauty like nobody's business. I literally have a friend of mine and we literally send Monster Energy girls back and forth to each other because like I can absolutely appreciate, I have a talent agency, for Christ's sake. I understand it. I can appreciate it. Okay. I guess the only thing from my perspective is that I don't want my goddaughter or my, the girls in my life to look at that and think that is the only way I can make money, to like look at that and think that's the only thing that's going to make me successful. That's the only thing that's going to make me beautiful. Because obviously that's going to have an unbelievably negative effect on our minds. It's just, yeah, it's not it. So I would love your opinions on that. I would love your opinions on OF. I guess if you're making money on OF, please, please, please contact me. Like I'm dying. Like I need to interview you. Like I want to get this out in the open because I just think like the business women, you're just amazing. So yes, attitude and personality are absolutely everything. Okay. So that is just life in general. And that's why the whole AI revolution thing, like that's one thing you can't replace is your attitude and your personality. Like I can't put that into a robot and say like, go be Megs for the day. Because let me tell you right now, I've already said how expressive my face is. If you're close to me, in my life, you literally like can tell by my face, and people will always tell me this. And Mickey's actually one of these people that will do that because I will agree with him and I don't agree with him, but my face says what I'm not saying. And so he's like, oh, well, you don't agree with that. So obviously my mother will do the same. But yeah, I think it's the funniest thing because the thought of me having Botox to the point I couldn't express myself. Like I already talk with my hands. Like I'm just an expressive person in general. And yeah, just the thought of having like no access to like my resting bitch face. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, moving on. The last thing I want to talk about this morning, I saw this yesterday, and then I literally, those posts that go crazy on social media, but purely because people are rushing to the comments to see what people are saying. If you saw, and I will put this massive big disclaimer before I even start this, I don't like politics. I don't understand politics. I actually didn't vote last time. I got a fine for it and I was very upset about that. I don't care. I have no strong opinions either way. I am coming to this with a pure, like, I got a lot of humor, like I found really, really funny. So Albo put up a photo of him in a Socceroos jersey for like, the World Cup's on at the moment for soccer. So what I love, right, about Australia and Australians in general is that you can hate each other, okay? You can not get along with someone. You can think they're the worst person in the world. Like, oh my God, if you have a joint common enemy, watch you become best friends. Okay. Now I witnessed that because I'm pretty sure Cosy actually shared it and that was how I saw across it. So he's put on this post saying, Australia behind you, or like I'm behind you, or whatever I can't remember what he said. And it's got him, like a photo of him in a jersey, an Australia jersey, if that's what, I'm pretty sure that's what you call soccer tops, whatever. And then in the comments section, it was like a barrage of like, if the other team wins, I'm sure you're going to change. And like, if this like happens, and it's literally like, it is absolutely obliterating him as a leader and as, like as somebody who is leading our country, because people disagree so much with his policies. And that is what I absolutely love about our culture is Australians, like, and I'm speaking quite generally here, obviously, but like, we love very, very similar things, I suppose. So we, like, people call it culture, but like, I think that when you think of things like Australia Day, and I know there's controversy around that, and I'm not cricket in the summer, being absolutely fried and obliterated from my hot Aussie sun, and everything like that. We have like rituals and traditions and things like that. Our Santa always has a beer typically. Like, we come together over really, really cool things. And I just think it is so funny that you can dislike somebody and everything that they do, but yeah, if you have a common enemy, in like a mutual common enemy, like what you join of the two. So I don't know, I might actually get somebody and I don't want to talk about politics. Do not, like, I have absolutely no interest, like I said. I don't know if I should know more about what policy each of these quote unquote leaders are trying to like bring into our country. I probably should, I guess, but I don't understand how a man like him can cop comments continually like that. And I stopped scrolling because I was like, there are like a billion of these comments. Like, I actually can't even read all of these, and none of them were positive. So in my head, I'm like, what the hell gives you the strength to carry on? Like, I've already talked about like my first hate comment. Like, I'm really scared. Like, I'm sure it will come, and I don't want to put it to the universe. I just want everyone to be like, peace, love, and flowers. Like, Megs, you're awesome. Okay. But I know I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and I'll probably get some sort of like hate comment, I'm sure. I'm not going to deal with that well, because I'm a very sensitive soul, and my RSD as a part of like my ADHD is like rife. Okay. Like, I feel everything deeply. I'm such a sensitive person, considering I'm so outspoken. So my aversion to wanting to know about current events, particularly political current events, like to the point I was staying, when I got out of surgery, like a few weeks ago, I was staying with my parents' house, my mum and my stepdad. And my stepdad is like, I love him to pieces. He's one of my favorite humans in my whole life, but he watches, and I think it's like Sky News. And it just reaffirmed to me how little I care about politics and how little I care about what is going on in the world, because I don't want that negativity in my head. Because again, like going back to like COVID times, when I sat there in my bed and I was just terrified. I was like I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna like have to sell my house. I don't like what's gonna happen to my family, like all of these things. And again, because it was so rife, and it was just so scary at the time. And then, all of a sudden we come out of it, like next minute we're like talking like it never happened. And I mean, it's still crazy to me that people still like catch COVID. But yeah. So, and when I say RSD, for anybody who's not sure, it's called rejection sensitivity disorder. So basically it's like really common among people with ADHD, and what you can actually feel, but you make up in your head, like, God, I shouldn't say that, but it's like you feel it more than the other person does. So if you're somebody who reads into text, if you send me a text saying K instead of like, okay, queen, like, or like, I always put kisses on my like messages because I'm like, love, love, love. If you are direct with me, immediately I'm like, what have I done? Do you not like me anymore? Oh my God, should I message them back? Oh my, right? And I am one of these people, which again, Claudia has solved for me his email writing, because I'm like, I like to be expressive in my emails. So I'm like the exclamation mark queen. I'm like, yep, done that. Can't wait for this. Yep, can't wait that, blah, blah, blah. Exclamation mark all over the place. However, it may not always be professional coming across that way. So I really need to kind of check myself a little bit. So now when Claudia writes my emails, and I can just check them and be like, yep, that sounds like me. I would write that. I put 3 exclamation marks there, smiley face there, whatever. But, it's just not needed. And it's just fluffy words that is just not. So RSD is really, really common with women in particular with ADHD. So if you say, like in a work standpoint, right? If you tell me you don't like something about my work, or if, being a creative, again, if I'm creating content and the client's like, oh, that's not quite it. Like, my brain treats that piece of information like I've just been shot and life's over for me. Everyone hates me. I suck at everything I do. Like, why would I even bother trying? Like, what? Right? So it is like it is brutal. Like, it can be brutal. But again, like, not all thoughts in our head are real. Like, your brain lies to you a lot. So yeah, it's just one of ways keeping. However, I can't deal with fear-based living. I can't listen to these shows as a millennial and be like, okay, like, I get that there's massive stuff happening abroad. I totally get that. But, and I guess there's one thing that really does bother me and really does affect me, and I do think about it a lot, is our troops that get sent, overseas to do things. Because, if you're in like Army, Navy, Air Force, anything like that, and you're fighting for our country, then obviously I care about that, and I would support anyone like that, because I just think, you're just a brilliant human being. However, if I think about like, fuel prices, and if I think about the cost of living, and if I think about all of these things in a way that isn't like, okay, here's the information, what am I going to do anything, like, do I need to do anything differently about it? Okay. So fuel prices are going up. Okay. Maybe I won't drive 25 minutes to my favorite smoothie place every single day to buy a smoothie. Okay. I can save petrol that way. Right. And I really don't like doing that, to be fair, because, oh my God, I love her smoothies. Anyway, side point. If you live in Adelaide, go to Crave in Gawler, Crave Fast Nutrition, and tell Kirsty that, do you know what, order the Biscoff and then go in there and tell Kirsty, this is from Megs. She'll love/hate you. Anyway, so there's the things that we can do. And same deal with, the cost of living going up, and shopping prices and stuff like that. I've never really been that great at like budgeting. And that's why I want to get somebody who is a finance whiz on here, because I think that budgeting, in the sense of like budgeting is so limited, like it's a really limiting thing. So if we can retrain our minds to think about, well, like, I can't do this week because, my money's got to go here, right? And you're feeling like a bit lack in that perspective. Like, we need to change our minds to be like, you know what, it's actually more aligned for me to spend my money on this week as opposed to this. I just find that a really, really helpful reframe, because otherwise I just get sad. I can't buy what I want, because I've never been very good at restricting myself. Nor do I need to, I suppose. This is more like, okay, like, it's probably not really relevant that I buy that right now. And my money can be best used to other things, especially when you own a business. Like, if you want the fastest way to like kill your spirit and make you like question who you are continually and worry about money coming in all the time, not all the time, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but like, start a business. It is like personal development on steroids, and I truly believe that has helped me so much with my RSD, because I've had to learn not to take, and like, I say this like I've mastered it. I absolutely have not. Like, I will still read into everything. I will still be upset if I don't do things perfectly, if clients don't like what I do, if a client leaves. Like, oh my God, like, you should have seen the first client that ever left my marketing agency. I cried for like ever, and they weren't even aligned. I didn't even like working with them, but I just like, it was just like, oh my God, I'm going to fail. Like, I'm not going to be able to feed my cats. Like, where am I going to live? I'm going to be like this crazy cat lady in a friggin' like, caravan that I bought off of Marketplace for $5,000. Okay, that is how severe my brain will spiral. And it's managing and coping with that, which I think has actually been my biggest strength, in being like, all right, cool. We've gone to the bottom. We've worked out exactly how bad it could be, right? Is that likely to happen? No. Okay. And how many other examples can you put in front of yourself in that time where you're like, oh, that was like the worst, but then this happened? Or like, okay, cool. Like, I misunderstood that situation. It was actually a really good outcome. Or like mine, like, for example, a client left the agency, again, wasn't aligned, didn't enjoy working there, but I didn't have time to do anything else. And then that time, right, I remarketed, pivoted my strategy, and then all of a sudden I had an influx of unbelievably amazing, beautiful people that I wanted to work with. Like, it was, yeah. So it's just these small shifts that can absolutely change it. Okay. Now, I went on a complete rabbit hole there. I don't know where that came from, but I hope it was helpful. I'm sure somebody will get that, and we'll be, we'll hopefully be able to do something with that. So Thank you for being with me. I am going to try and work on Mick's audio stuff so that we can get him on. He's very, very important to have on. So I'm excited to bring him on the show. And I did touch on this, but like I've got so many unbelievable people applying to be on the show from my call out. Like, oh, like you guys wait. This is just going to be the best thing ever. So have the best morning. Have the best rest of your day. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay, bye.